Now that we have a grid system, and at some parts it's more dense and at some parts it's less dense, and we can also change the areas of this area, so where it gets dense and where it gets more light. But then this is not really what we want to do. We also want to develop a system how we can take out some elements of this grid structure, as we remember our reference example. So for that you have several ways to go, but in this example we just choose one of these. So basically what I do here, that I choose the first and the last element of the list. So let's enable that first of all. So first and last component that I chose, but I still don't want to see, so I can just close the preview. I want to reach a certain area in this grid that I can take out some elements. So how to define this area? Deconstruct BREP features into faces, edges, and vertices. And in this case, I want to reach different vertices. See here the vertices, and here as well. I can choose a rectangular prism inside of this grid system from selected points. One point that I will select from this set of vertices, and one point that I will select this set of vertices. Here that I choose this, but you can, this is the sixth element, but you can sort of choose any vertices you want. So here as well. And then I will create a 3D geometry that defines the area I want to delete from. So basically box. There is this component 2-point box, which creates a box defined by 2 points. That I'm choosing the whole area. But obviously you can choose different selections. So if I want to only delete elements from this one or from this area, basically you can define it according to your preferences. I want to select some random areas, some small random areas within that geometry. What this component does, it generates random points within a geometry, within a geometrical border. I want to randomly create some points in this geometry that I selected. To be able to more efficient, that I want to disable this one, display preferences. So I click this one, and now I will only see the geometry generated by the selected component. So I want to see the points that I generated. In this case, I have 0 generated points, but I can arrange how many points that I want to generate, and remember, we are generating these points within that boundary. So we can change the order based on the seed input. I want to delete some elements from that grid structure. So in my case, I will define some cylindrical areas based on those generated points, and then delete elements which fall into that cylindrical areas. So I enable that component. Yeah, I see some base geometry here, and I didn't like the order. Maybe I have to change a bit, maybe 5 areas, and then that I want to use that order. So basically boundary and extrude. So I have those areas within the grid structure. So we can also look, okay, where I want to delete from. So just maybe do some arrangements. Okay, so basically this grid structure and these volumes where they intersect that I want to delete from. For deleting, we will use trim with wraps component. This is the geometry set you want to delete from, and this is the geometry set that you will delete with. It will give us 2 sets of geometries inside of the volumes that you delete or you trim with, and the elements which fall outside of the wrap geometry here. So basically we want that. So we just want to delete from the inside of the cylindrical volume. So let's see what we have by again arranging the, maybe I should do like, I should scale it down. So let's see what we have at the end, and this green is not very visible. I don't know, maybe it's, you can also change the selected geometry color. So let's use this different position, the selected geometry, or maybe more, erasing more. So you can erase in different manners. Exactly. Now it takes some time. You can add maybe some closed elements inside of the grid. Don't know, you can maybe delete some of these parts. Etc. According to your design scenario, you can have different effects, but all generated by the same parametric system. So basically what we did, we just took some parts of the example code and then used them according to what we want to have, and arranged them in order to define a parametric system that we saw in the example.